Hey everybody, it is the Angry Honey Badger here, and it is time for the LCS Weekly, which you've so desperately missed, I know. And joining me for this occasion would be, of course, Ranger. How you doing?
I am fantastic. How you doing?
Oh, you know, the dream, the living of it, those things.
What'd you do?
That's what we do. So LCS Weekly disappeared for a couple weeks for a couple reasons. One of the episodes went super corrupt, basically, and the audio broke, and therefore I think watching our faces with no actual words would have been a problem. And then the other one,
even though we are both beautiful people.
It's true. It's true. I know some people would want that, but I passed. So, and then the other one just didn't happen because busy life's busy stuff. So it's gonna happen. Things. After today, I'm back out of town again. So yay. Gotta get it done. But besides that, we are back. It is coming to the end of the split. We have our Week 9 games finished up. We can now reflect on what we saw and who will be departing and who will be staying for playoffs and who shall be named potentially the Spring Split champion.
And Spring Split champion doesn't mean anything but you're the best and you get money. Just putting that out there real quick.
Yes.
There's no placement in Worlds. There's no...
Yeah.
It's just to be great. That's what it is.
So the way they changed things from last season, instead of 8 teams and playing 25 games and wherever you end is where you end, now it's, the 18 games in the normal duration of normal play. You play everyone twice, and then you go to a playoff to then determine out of the top 6 teams who will be the champion.
So 6 teams get to go to playoffs. 7th team is safe. 8th and 9th have to play regulation. 8th gets to pick which challenger team they get to fight.
Mm-hmm.
And 9th place doesn't get to choose. They get stuck with whatever. And then the 10th team goes back to Challenger Series.
Yes, they do.
Which is harsh. Because before it was always you got to fight. And maybe you could win those best of 3 and be cheating kicked out. No, if you're last, you have to redo everything.
Yes, and that's really unfortunate, and a lot of players don't like the auto-relegation thing, and I can kind of understand it because it's the difference of having a job and not having a job, really. The question is, are the teams at the top of Challenger actually as good as an LCS team? And there's some comparisons that we can bring away from what we've seen so far with who came from Challenger and who's doing how well. Some of it I think is, though, a little greedy to judge, and we'll get to that in a second. But it's going to be really interesting to see how this works for the first time with the whole new setup. So I'm at least interested in it. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. That's.
Yeah, and it's always nice that Riot does switch things. If things don't work well, they just they're not so stubborn they stick to one way, so that's the way it's always been.
Yeah. They're willing to try the new bracket stuff. It also gets more teams, and it gets more diversity, and it's more fun. So
I like the whole they play each other twice thing instead of last season where it was like 4 games and they had super weeks and stuff.
Yeah.
So I like how the season went, but we'll see how the up and downs go.
Yeah. Super weeks were interesting. They could turn schedules and stuff around crazily. So not as much with this new schedule, but still different. So
about consistency.
Yes.
Which we have seen a lot of not from teams.
Yeah. Who's been consistent? Like 2 teams, maybe, barely. Anyways, let's jump to Week 9 for the EU, and we'll see what happened over there. You want to hit it?
Yeah, so Wolves beat Rocat, which was really crushing to Rocat. They really thought they could just come through and be top 3, and they just seemed to unfold and just not do well. So the next game was Fnatic versus H2K. Again, H2K was top 3, but Fnatic proved again that they are one of the top 2 teams in Europe, and there's a gap. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, H2K actually I don't think looked good that game. It wasn't that close.
It showed a gap. It was like, which we said at the very beginning, Fnatic and SK Gaming, and then the rest of them. So, and then SK Gaming beat Meet Your Maker, wasn't surprising. Elements beat Giants, and then Gambit Gaming beat Unicorns of Love. So Elements did what they had to do. Which was they had to win because they wanted to stay out of what are they called? Relegations?
Relegations, yeah.
So they had to win that one. And that was Thursday, which was a good day. no crazy upsets. And then on to Friday was an upset, in my opinion, which is where Giants beat the Wolves.
Yes.
Which caused problems later. Anyway, and then Fnatic beat Elements.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to scroll down because I can't see it.
How can you not see it?
Because I got my big face there. All right.
Oh, good point.
We have SK beating Gambit, and then Meet Your Makers beating Rokat. Rokat went 0-2 at a time where they had to go 2-0, which was really bad because they did not have an impossible last week.
They had doable games that if they wanted to prove they were an okay team, they needed to win, and they didn't.
Yeah. So, and then we had the final game going to H2K over Unicorns of Love. Then they had ties. And the reason why you have to have these tiebreakers is placements are really important. It's not just 6 go to playoffs. There's buys. There's what are they called? Relegations, of course. And it actually made it so Meet Your Makers could possibly not go to Challenger Series. And they got so close. They got so close.
It was, yeah.
I mean, the game wasn't the closest, but I was really hoping that they could pull it out at the very end, but they weren't able to. So Meet Your Makers. Right?
Meet Your Makers will be a challenger team once again.
Yeah, so
now,
sad for them.
Out of the EU LCS, who do you think is the weakest team?
Now?
Or no? Did you think it was Meet Your Makers or Giants?
Yeah, I would definitely Meet Your Makers the whole time.
Okay, good. I thought so too. I thought Giants. And I don't think they're good, but they showed promise at a few points. Meet Your Makers never ever did anything that ever impressed me.
Yeah, they tried to put some stuff together at the end of the season, but it was too late.
Yeah, it was too late. Yeah.
So now, I think the weakest team is probably, I want to say Unicorns?
What?
Like, honestly? Yeah, I know. I'm skipping a couple things.
You're skipping on like 3 teams.
But understand the reason why I'm saying
4 teams. Holy.
Is they beat up on the lower teams. But now we're going to have a surge, like new blood, new strategies. I don't think Unicorns will be staying with us.
Interesting.
I know. I saved it as my pocket thing. I don't think they're going to be here in the fall.
This is crazy. This is news to me. I think the weakest team now is I think it might be Rocket.
Poor Rocket. I can understand that one.
Yeah.
He started off so well. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. So with those games, how they went, we got our LCS bracket playoffs for the upcoming. And so the first game is going to be 4th and 5th place, and then the next game is 3rd and 6th place. And then those will play the teams that got the buys. The teams that got the buys were 1st and 2nd place, which was SK Gaming got 1st, Fnatic got 2nd. So it's going to be Gambit versus Unicorns of Love, and I honestly think it's going to be just a putt for Gambit. I don't have any faith in Unicorns right now. 0. I have actually bet $25 on Gambit, and that's for me. That's a lot of money. I don't like betting on Gambit just taking this, just easy 3-0 straight up. Or wait, is it 2-0? 2-0, right?
It's best of 5.
Okay, so it's 3-0. Okay,
yeah,
it is 3-0. Okay, and then it's H2K versus Copenhagen, and I think H2K is going to crush them as well.
I think H2K can win that for sure. Copenhagen, I don't think they're bad, but I think if they actually buckle down, I think Copenhagen could win this, but I think it's H2K's to lose. As for Gambit versus Unicorns, these are 2 so inconsistent teams sometimes. I don't know who. I know what you said, and I don't want to pick one over the other, but I just don't really think I could pick one here. It's just I think this will be a cluster series.
Well, yeah. The odds of a team that isn't as good winning a best of 5 is so minuscule. H2K has to win this one. If it was like a best of 1 or even a best of 3, I could maybe say Wolves could win because it's 5 games. I don't think Wolves can do it. And then when you go to best of 5 with a team like Gambit that has the experience of the original teams, there's no way Unicorns cannot keep up with that.
Okay.
So that's where I'm coming from. And then the winner of the first game will play against SK, which will be unfun for them. Then H2K versus Fnatic. I don't know. We're gonna have an SK Gaming Fnatic finale, which is fantastic. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll be Fnatic SK in the final.
But that's EU. So that's a bit away. so we're getting ahead of ourselves. But
A little bit.
that is how the brackets look. And then again, it's just a winner. Yay! You're so great. Here's some money. Awesome. See you in the summer. For what is it?
Summer split.
Yeah, but the All-Star game. That's the next thing we look forward to.
Yeah, is that when they're going to Tallahassee?
Is it? Don't tell me it's in Tallahassee.
I think it is. Well, no, wait. What tournament's in Tallahassee? There's one coming up in Tallahassee. I'm looking.
I don't think it's. I thought it was Madrid. Wait, what's in Madrid?
I don't know. Other stuff?
Okay, let's see. That didn't show
Mid-season invitational tickets will be.
Oh,
at
it is.
7?
It is Florida State University in Tallahassee. Okay,
Yeah.
So for anyone that I offended in Tallahassee, be offended. All right, I've been to Tallahassee. I don't like your city.
Wrecked.
But it's just it's an interesting choice. If you're gonna go to Florida, you want to go to Miami, Orlando.
No, dog. You want to go to Tallahassee. Tallahassee.
The funnest thing about Tallahassee is its name. So
That's true. There's a slight chance I might be at it. So.
I will be there too, but I won't like it. What's in Madrid though? This is gonna annoy me. There's something in Madrid. Maybe it's just the final week.
That could be. I don't know. Is that where World? I know Worlds is in Europe, so why would they have? Why would they have the other thing there? Anyways,
You're right.
that's Europe.
Woohoo!
Hooray, Europe. But yeah, let's jump over to the nah. That's the NA.
Nah, man.
The nah, man. I got this. Anyways, over there we had first off on that Saturday, Gravity and Cloud9. Cloud9 won. It was kind of a sloppy game from Gravity, and so Cloud9 won. That's how that works.
And Cloud9 had to win both their games.
Correct.
Absolutely important that they win both their games.
Also true. We'll get to that in a second. Team 8 then played against Counter Logic Gaming and lost when they needed a win. Then next, Winter Fox played Team Liquid and came out big with a win, complicating things in the standings.
Yeah, they did some work.
They did. They did do some work. Liquid was playing from behind basically the whole time. They didn't handle the 2v1 swap, the lane swap at all, which was surprising. And it made Winter Fox look like they've learned a thing, which is good for them. I like Winter Fox, so.
Yeah, I have no problem.
Then we had Team Coast give a free win away to TSM, because any win against Coast is a free win.
Or any game against, yeah. If Coast just shows up and goes, here you go. There you go.
Hey, we're going to play something dumb. Hey, it didn't work.
And Coast was going to Challenger regardless of what happened. So I don't even think they gave.
No, you could tell in their picks that they had given up many, many moons ago. They were so all over the place. Yeah. Fun to watch, but not good. And then Team Impulse lost to Dignitas. I think that was probably the most surprising game of the day.
Oops. Yeah. That should not have happened.
And Team Impulse really wanted that.
It's that curse of if it's too far on one side, guaranteed win, the other team will win.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, nailed it. That's that. So that kind of made things interesting because Winter Fox and Dignitas both wanted to win to try to potentially get the spot to pick who they got to play from Challenger Series. And both of them came out with a win on day one, and all the other teams that needed to separate themselves, Gravity, Team 8, and Liquid, none of them won, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
So that took us to day 2. So when day 2 started off, Winter Fox won again over Coast, but that's also not that surprising. Cloud9 played TSM, and they won.
Okay, so my buddy sends me a text after Cloud9 won and goes, there goes Reginald fixing the LCS. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And okay, so if Cloud9 won and CLG did not, Cloud9 could take second place.
Correct.
And so he said that TSM threw the game because Reginald owns both teams. You should have seen the conspiracy text message my friend sent me.
Yeah.
But it was really, I mean, we'll go into it more, but it was bizarre.
It was. I will say one thing that I did not like that game is a bunch of crazy engagement nonsense, and that's all fine and dandy. But my biggest problem I had in that game was Bjergsen.
Who did Bjergsen play in this game?
Cho'Gath.
Yes.
And
okay,
he
that
didn't.
sounds just so great.
It is fantastic, and the bite hurts. But guess what? If you build mostly tank, you don't really do anything.
He was just and especially with Bjergsen being the ringer.
Yeah.
You.
Let's put someone who's a playmaker on a non-playmaker champion. They had no damage. They had a 1 damage comp then with Wild Turtle, and you can't protect him with what they had. And they lost.
And Wild Turtle did not respect Vi. Okay,
no, not at all.
They fought by Dragon,
Mm-hmm.
and TSM all goes up mid lane to run away, and Wild Turtle's like, I'll take a couple creep and go into the bush.
Such a bad
and
idea.
Meteos is like, flash Q ultimate, gotcha.
Yeah, no, it was...
You have to respect that. And then Lemonation's Nautilus hooks
They were good.
Ridiculous.
I still don't think it's a good pick as for support, but they were good. And yes, you were right. He also used his dash like, oh, I'm safe. And you're like, no, you're not, Turtle.
And I was just explaining to someone how Wild Turtle's greatest flaw is he does not respect that people might be better than him, or might be able to kill him, and he will dash in, flash in, Valkyrie in.
It's like old school Wild Turtle. Like I think he's learned a lot over the years, and how not to go as ham all the time. Because old Wild Turtle originally, when he joined TSM, was all like, I'm going in and we're going crazy and I'm dying all the time. That was old Wild Turtle.
I'm tank.
He's not the same as people remembered him now, because old Wild Turtle was, in fact, just a gunslinger, and just, God, it was not really great for TSM, but it was at least a way to deal damage back in the day for them. But he's learned a lot over the time, and he's actually progressed a lot as a player. But he still has those instances where he's all like, oh, and it's like, oh shit. So
I'm the greatest. I'm caught.
Yeah.
So
that's what happened there. Then we had Team Dignitas play Team Liquid. Liquid desperately needed the win. So did Dignitas. If Dignitas won, they would tie winner Fox. And that would give them the overall ahead for picking. Yada yada. But they lost. Liquid won, which means the loser from the next match, Gravity versus Team 8, would be forced to play Liquid in a tiebreaker later in the day, which that would have been Gravity against Team 8. And Gravity won that game. Meaning Team 8 would have to play Liquid later in the evening. And Bunny Fufu went off.
Why would you... Okay, I was going to say something about this. Why would you, in a game that mattered that much, give Bunny Fufu what makes Bunny Fufu an LCS player?
Yes.
Like, again, he is better than me, but his LCS status is based off of Thresh.
A lot of it is. He's gotten better on other champions,
yes,
like that we've seen, and we've seen it over the past year. Like, Bunny has gotten better on champions he was not as comfortable with. But regardless, his Thresh is stupid good.
It is... Oh, that hook that he had.
The prediction hook or the one through the wall?
Through the wall.
Yes.
That just... He wasn't out of position. He was in a great position. Just Bunny Fufu was better.
Yeah.
Like, that's the bottom line.
And then he's like, oh, I'll just dip through the wall. Oh, I get flayed out of my tunnel. Like, get wrecked.
Yeah, poor Rek'Sai.
Oh, that was so much. Anyways, yeah. I gave him number 1 and number 2 in my top 5.
Nice,
so,
good call.
Yeah. He went off. Mm-hmm. So, Gravity won that game, much deserving too. And then the next team was Counterlogic Gaming versus Team Impulse, and Team Impulse got their shit together and won a game. I think Impulse probably is a slightly better team. I know that's probably some crazy talk. Counterlogic has been showing their flaws as the season's been going on.
Yeah, but this caused 2 great tiebreakers. Yeah. CLG versus Cloud9 for 2nd place. And also Team Liquid versus Team 8
for the last spot.
So, do you want to go on about the games? Or?
Yeah, so we'll start with the first one that played, which was Liquid and Team 8. So, it was not the first one that played.
That was not the
first one. No, wait. It was the first one that played. You're wrong. Yes, because they weren't going to make Cloud9 or CLG play immediately again.
You're right.
So, Team Liquid plays against Team 8. And they both had good, solid comps. I really couldn't complain about them. Mostly solid picks all around. Now, one thing I will say is Phoenix, we haven't seen this, and a lot of people may or may not know this, depending on how in tone you are with streams or the LCS. Phoenix is actually a beast in solo queue. But it hasn't really converted over into the LCS like crazy. But he got on an assassin. And he's been playing well when he gets on assassins or high pick potential mid laners. If he gets on like a Lulu, he's not bad, but there's really nothing going for him. And he got Zed. Right? Did he get Zed in that game? He got Zed in that game, yeah. And he got 2 triple kills in that game.
It's like the first time Phoenix has been what he is a terror. Been what he's known for.
Yeah.
Is just stomping people.
Yeah. And so
hey,
it was a close game, though, back and forth the whole time until a Baron, which I Will Dominate did not smite. And so Team 8 did get the Baron. But luckily, and this is a luckily, too, because this is I think, the difference between probably these two teams, or just teams in general. Liquid kept their cool and said, we can fight. And they zoned the fight correctly, and they ended up winning because of it, only losing, I think, 1 person in the fight and 1 person getting away on the enemy team. So 4 people were 45 minutes into a match. Death timers are way too long. They walked into the base and had plenty of time to end the game. Like, Rek'Sai was in there just, like, trying to do damage to all 4 of them, and it's like, go away, Rek'Sai. You're not going to tickle us.
Wasn't a problem for him. It was a great... again, Teammate's a newer team.
Mm-hmm.
It shows that experience of when a team... loses Baron. That's a chaotic situation, and Liquid was like, no, we're cool. Don't worry about it. Just push and we'll win. And it was good.
It was almost as dramatic of a way to get into playoffs as you could have been.
And thank goodness Team 8 didn't make it.
Yes, also that. I don't care for them. Mostly Maple
And it's
Street.
not Team 8. No, okay, yeah, let's be correct. I like 4 of Team 8.
Me too.
But the one that I don't like makes it so I don't like the team. It's put your shoes on and act like a professional. Or like a pro, or something besides some scrawny little kid that his mom has to take him home after the game in a minivan and make sure to have his juice box or he's gonna cry.
He does.
That's all I get.
I think he's a really good player, but he does look. He does look like his mom did just drop him off.
I'll be back to pick up you in 2 hours, honey.
Mom,
with my friends.
Mom, you're not on the team. Get off the stage. I know other pros who don't wear their shoes, but that's...
But they don't wave them around.
That's true. They do not wave their shoes around. That's true. There's not a lot of that going on. Anyways, but that was... Yeah. I couldn't imagine what would have happened if Liquid would have played against Gravity. That would have been...
Okay, so after this game, they interviewed Piglet. Sorry, brain fart. They interviewed Piglet. Piglet's standing there, and right behind him is Afro Moo and Double Lip.
I loved it.
Like, right behind him. And they asked him a couple of questions. He's like, oh, I hope we play against CLG because Double Lift is overconfident. Afro Moo's a great player. Double Lift is overconfident. Afro Moo's good. Double Lift is not. Like,
it was so funny. I laughed so hard.
The crowd's like booing him and stuff, and I'm like, okay, so if this happens...
I don't know if they're booing him. I think they were all going, oh, like shit.
Okay. Yeah, it was, oh, okay.
Yeah.
The game between CLG versus Liquid, I don't expect any lane swaps. Double Lift has an ego. Double Lift wants to prove this. They will seek out winning lane comps and find Piglet. That is what I'm guessing. That
you don't think you don't okay, that'd be... I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm really interested. What is Liquid's well, in fact, I can just check. What is Liquid's win-loss versus CLG? No, they have it.
Isn't it 1-1? But I don't think it was with Piglet when they won.
I'm gonna check. I'm checking right now. I think
I'm watching that. And while you check,
there's one of them.
Okay, click on it. You gotta click.
No, why do I need? No, I know it's. I know it's with. I know both of them are without Piglet.
Okay.
But what I'm gonna say now is, they're without Piglet, but they won both of them because I know the other one's week 2 or week 1. It's not week 2. They did terrible in week 2. CLG.
Yeah.
So Liquid hasn't lost to CLG, and Curse didn't lose to CLG in the previous playoffs. CLG doesn't seem to beat this organization. I'm not saying, and CLG's a lot better than that previously was, so this I think could be really, really good.
Really? CLG has always been better than Curse. They just haven't beat them.
They just never beat Curse, though, or Liquid. So I'm just saying, this organization can't beat this organization. So I'm really interested to see how that goes.
I'm excited. That's what I want to watch. All 3 games. I'm just going to sit there and just stare.
Yeah.
All 5 games, sorry.
Oh, yeah, so we mentioned, we kind of glossed over it.
I don't care.
CLG will be playing Team Liquid because they lost the tiebreaker to the, how did we phrase this? The best winning team.
Yeah, okay. Cloud9 is just winning. There's nothing there. They make mistakes. Nothing looks shiny, but they just win. Like, that's how I feel about it. So, yeah, the best or the worst winning team, which is what we said about Coast. They're the best one-win team, so, you know, take that.
But we changed it halfway around, too. They're just terrible.
See,
Okay,
just suck.
I changed it around once they picked up ManCloud.
That's when you think ManCloud's going to solve your problems.
You got other problems.
Oh, thank you, Turtle, for breaking ManCloud's record.
Yes.
I am so sick and tired of hearing about ManCloud's record.
Yeah.
He had a pocketing Smithy. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Anyone could win with a pocketing Smithy.
Yeah.
But yeah. Then it was CLG versus Cloud9.
Yes.
Skara tweeted that they're gonna pick a fun pick, and they gave Sneaky Draven. And it took him a while to get a kill, but when he got a kill, it was like 750 gold.
Yeah, like 700. Adoration.
It was nuts.
Oh.
And then he got another kill right after that and got more.
So by the time I went back to base, I think he had like 4k gold.
It was, and then he did what Draven does. He won, and he won hard. And
It was
CLG
a fast
Bane,
game.
which was great. But yeah, it was like what 26 minutes.
27, yeah.
Yeah, Cloud9 just put it into overdrive and just ran over. They didn't even let Vayne be Vayne.
So I know we talked about how Cloud9 is winning without looking minute. I will say Sneaky has been looking good regardless the whole time.
Well, Cloud9 tried to give him multiple kills and failed. They fumbled the opportunities, I believe, as Kobe said.
Probably.
They tried really hard to get sneaky kills, and they just could not do it. That's what I'm talking about. Cloud9, you set up a goal. You want Sneaky to get a lot of adoration, so you can give him a kill, snowball him. And then when you set all that up and you can't, you should be punished for that. You should be punished, and CLG could not do that. Gank Draven.
Yeah.
700 gold is just something.
The other problem with Draven too is, regardless, he's gonna get paid at some point that game. Like, you really do have to keep him down early, and then you have to be prepared for the second that he does hit that spike, because it's going to happen. He's going to get one kill. He's going to cash in at some point. So you have to deal with that, or at least work.
But they didn't. So Cloud9 took second, which was weird.
For starting out 0-2, yeah.
It's weird. Not even that. They were down to like 4th or 5th, weren't they, at one point?
Dude, they were last at the start of the split.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about like with 3 or 4 weeks going.
They still actually were like in 6th for a while.
Were they?
Yeah, it was a slow climb to the final last weeks, and then then there was like maybe they could. They were like in 3rd, and then they stuck in 3rd, and then they got tied for 3rd, and they were in 3rd again, and they're like, well, now we might be able to push for 2nd because the LG lost, and it was like, oh, in 2nd, and it's like, what? Yeah.
So the quarterfinals for NA are, again, we've talked about them all just so much, but it's going to be Team Impulse versus Gravity, and Counterlogic Gaming versus Team Liquid. Again, Impulse was ranked top 20 internationally.
Yeah.
And they're only in 4th against Gravity. I have hated on St. Vicious for years. It would make me happy for St. Vicious to beat Impulse.
Yeah.
St. Vicious and Cop have had a lot of drawbacks and setbacks, or whatever you want to call them, and just bad things have happened to them, even being so good at the game the whole time. It would be nice for them to win. I think it would be really hard, and I did put Impulse ahead in my league, but I would really like Gravity to win. That'd make me happy inside.
I think Impulse is kind of your wild card team for this playoffs. Like, if they show up and go ham, I think they could honestly win the whole damn thing, but I think they could also flop on their face. Yeah, I really think they could. When they go off, they go off.
But you have to beat TSM and Cloud9.
No, I totally understand, but I think they can, and they have beaten both those teams.
In a best of 5.
I know, I understand. I hear you.
I think TSM is untouchable in North America right now, in a best of 5.
Don't get me wrong, I think TSM should win this. I don't think that really should surprise anyone, as long as they don't pick like mid Cho'Gaths or stuff like that.
Or go tanky mid Cho'Gath.
Yeah, get a death cap, Bjergsen.
Alright. And then the next game is Counterlogic Gaming versus Team Liquid.
Yep.
This is what Piglet wanted. This is what we were talking about. I do not see any lane swapping or maybe even double lane swap or whatever. But these two are going to clash, and can Aphromoo beat Piglet?
The question is, will all 4 other people stay in the base and let those 2 just go to mid?
No, okay. So
who knows?
They go in 2 and 2.
Okay.
Game 5, they just type all mid or ADC mid only, and they sit in base and they watch their ADCs go head to head.
It's so funny.
You see Aphromoo just standing behind double lift. Get him, son! Get him!
Just an ARAM, basically. Oh my gosh. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I think Aphromoo can shut down Piglet, and the reason why Piglet likes to pick hyper carries, Kalista, Tristana, Jinx, those do not do well against good supports.
Not usually.
They can lock him down, prevent them from winning lane.
It will be Liquid looking for the swap.
And I'm not saying X Special is not good. X Special is a really good player. Not as good as Aphromoo by a bit.
No, I'll go with that.
So, now X Special picks Annie, Piglet picks Graves, Lucian. I think at a level 6 they could beat Aphromoo and double lift. But if that isn't the case, if Aphromoo even picks Alistair, the problem it's out the window.
Picks will be important.
Picks will be really
Picks will be very important in these matchups. I think both teams have struggled with this a little bit. What was that?
Some support and ADC bans. Not even worried about the jungle or the mid lane. Just
you can't ban out. Well, you can't ban out Quas. It's not possible. Only if a power pick of a certain champion is in that lane will it get banned. You can't ban out Quas. It's more than obvious. Yeah. Similar thing in the jungle. Dominate will play just about anything. He's been favoring a few picks lately that I don't honestly like, so if they banned him, that'd be great.
What do you think about a Sejuani?
It's okay, but he's hesitant.
I think Dominate needed to go this week to St. Vicious' house and sit down and have him teach him how to play Sejuani.
Oh, senpai.
Because Dominate would, as he's dashing, throw his ultimate and would miss, and they'd flash and everything like that. St. Vicious was headbutting the shit out of him with Q, and then when they tried to run and scatter, he would then hit him with his ultimate, because Sejuani's ultimate is really narrow.
It's narrow.
Got a huge blast radius, but it's got a really narrow thing, so you cannot miss that. If you are playing Sejuani, you cannot miss your ultimate.
I know what you're saying, and I think that's a little bit of the problem. I think a lot of it is when he goes to fire it as he does his Q charge, all of that is a really delayed reactionary response to the situation at hand. Like, he's doing this, and it's in a reaction to, I just got hooked, I just got blah, blah, blah. It just seems like it was after the fact. Like, he wasn't... And part of it is, am I confident to go in, and are people going to follow me, versus, is this the pick we want? Is this the fight we want? And I think it's a combination of both those things. So, I don't think it's necessarily bad. Luckily, he gets tanky enough that at least you become a frontline, which is a good thing.
Unkillable?
But
unkillable is what you're looking
for. Other than that, he's also played the Rek'Sai. Not a big fan of the Rek'Sai, personally. She's fallen off. So.
Yeah, I would like to see Zac, Sejuani.
I'm still okay with Vi.
Yeah, Vi's amazing.
Obviously. If someone wants to bring an Elise back, I'm okay with it now.
Yeah, I know you're okay with it. You love Elise.
I don't love Elise. In fact, I was mostly terrible with her for a long period of time. Now I'm not so bad.
But I think Zac is like the strongest tank jungler we have right now. If you were going to focus on bot lanes. Because you can outward some of the junglers. You cannot outward Zac. He will find a way to jump on your face.
Yep.
It's gonna happen. And ADCs cannot kill Zac.
No.
They can try, but they're not gonna do it. So
he also becomes a problem too in a gank where if he does die or go into his little blobs, that you know he's coming back and you can't focus him at that moment because you'll get creamed by whoever else is still alive. It's a weird play. So
yeah, it's different than Aatrox. Aatrox comes back a lot weaker. Zac does not come back weaker.
No.
Depending on Bloblets, he could be at fourth, third life, and then he's gonna instantly jump out, flash out, gain health, whatever. Zac's really hard to target first, even as a tank.
Correct. So we went on a tangent again, which is fine.
Yeah.
We were talking about who they were gonna ban.
Oh yeah.
And then I got to the jungle, and we got to picks, and we got to dominate, and then we just kept talking about jungle picks, and then we got to, which is fine. This is all fine. But we want to talk about meta and who we might think is currently strong and what.
That was meta.
I know, but we want to actually call it meta.
You want to label it now?
Yeah, we're labeling it meta.
All right. So.
Who is your current top lane favorites?
Top lane favorites.
Or first strength.
I think Maokai is like the strongest champion ever. This dude just can't die. He's just a reliable asshole.
That's true.
So I think he's a very safe pick. That being said, Rumble. We have team fight oriented meta, all about the team fights. Rumble is all about them team fights. So who cares if he's like 0-5 in lane with 20 CS? That equalizer will cause problems. So yeah, I say Rumble and Maokai are my two.
Okay.
What about you?
I like both of those for sure. I do. Okay. I'm gonna also throw in Sion still. The only problem I have with him is if your team is running another super tanky jungle, you're gonna start to run into a few issues with having damage. But besides that, he handles the 2v1 incredibly well. He's just strong in lane still, and he's still a beast in fights. So I'm still throwing Sion in there. Yeah. Other than that, I like your other two for sure.
All right. So, mid lane for you.
For my mid lane right now, I still think Ahri is kind of a god right now.
Really?
Just it's stupid. It's her Q. It's the movement.
It's she is really hard to kill.
Yeah, it's.
When you're getting ganked when playing Ahri, throw a Q, and you won. So there you go.
Yeah.
I see people like try to throw charms. Just throw your Q and get out.
Yeah. I think she's still strong. She got nerfed. LeBlanc got a tiny nerf, but I haven't seen her be impactful. And it's the combination of if you don't get ahead early, you just don't do anything at all. So she's fallen off, in my opinion.
I think Zed is the strongest.
And I was gonna say, and the other one's Zed still. I think Zed is still really strong.
So you have these metas that are protect the Kog'Maw, protect Jinx. If you have Zed, he can split push and cause enough problems and early game pressure that you never get to that point. That you can't just abandon fighting him.
You know the other problem is too? It's hard to protect somebody against shadows.
It's true.
The dude can come out of nowhere.
Yeah, and so it can just cause it causes another element than just team fighting. So I think Zed is a really important pick if they're going to pick a hyper carry, because they're going to get QSS eventually, and you can't ultimate them anymore.
That's true, but you also before that point, QSS. Even if you don't kill them with your ult or anything, and you dive them, they still have to run away from a fight, and you've zoned them out of it. Whether or not you got the kill is a different story, but you've zoned importance out of the fight.
Yeah, they have 2 champions that were picked distinctly to protect that champion, while that champion does 0 damage. You now have 3 champions doing 0 damage. So I think Zed's it's a well played Zed. Mind you, don't just pick Zed now and go, why isn't it working? Zed is really hard to play.
Perfect.
Zed, Cassiopeia, I think, are like the top level champions to play. So
yeah,
that's how I feel about that. Junglers, I already stated my Sejuani, Zac, Fizz. Oh, Fizz jungle.
He's getting nerfed.
Yeah. ADC support, bot lanes. I don't like to protect the one-person comps, so I really like to see that we're seeing Lucian's. I think Lucian and Graves are the 2 strongest right now.
Okay.
Maybe Corki. Did you see Zhao Zhao's Corki?
Oh my god.
That's a different thing, but the echo on the missiles. Yeah.
They were right about that, though. If you're going to do that, make sure you build more AP.
Yeah. But anyway, good thing. So the meta is definitely changing. It's not as stagnant as I feel it was in Season 4. There's lots of things that...
You know what season this is, right?
Is this Season 5?
This is Season 2.
It's not?
We're back in Season 2.
I don't know what we're talking about.
The meta is Season 2.
See what you're saying. Yeah, with no Heart of Gold and no Shirelius.
Yeah. Philly Stone.
So how do you play top lane? Well, I'm going to go Philosopher's Stone,
Heart of Gold.
and then maybe I'll get Avarice Blade. Not sure yet.
I'll get Boots 1 and I'll pick up my Warmogs. And then if their Ari gets really far ahead in lane, I'm definitely picking up a Force of Nature. Let's do this.
And then people at like 55 minutes, I don't know how we could have won this game. Nasus now has 15,000 stats. You guys been doing before that? He was just farming. Why didn't you push? He was farming.
Oh, man.
Oh, I hate Nasus so much. I like Jungle Nasus, though.
Really?
Yeah, I love Jungle Nasus with her.
I think it's boring.
Awesome, you're boring.
I know, but I at least know. And knowing is half the battle.
So we're getting to these end games here, where none of it really, it doesn't matter. I would not be surprised if we see some champions that weren't exactly picked or mained in these playoff games.
I agree.
Maybe some weird junglers, like Cloud9 even showed the Draven to a game that was very important. That's a very important game.
Yeah.
It's now time to show some pizzazz, I guess. That you don't just have to absolutely win these games to get a good placement. Now you can throw some weird things that will throw the team off, and best of fives is the best time to have it.
Yeah.
Where you can recover and then throw a curveball, and then recover and throw a curveball.
Yep. Teams with deep champion pools will also benefit.
Yep. Is Bard playable?
Bard's been playable. He has been. Nobody's been playing him. They've only hovered him because everybody knows he doesn't do anything.
I knew they were hovering him, but I didn't know if they could like.
No, they could play him. There's a reason why no one's playing him.
Soraka. I better see a Soraka this week. If anyone
Lost boy
wants to watch, add Ranger 14 on friends list. I've been playing Soraka 5-10 times a day. Beautiful, beautiful champion. Just glorious.
She lacks something in major team fights.
No, she doesn't. She has an AoE silence. You lack things in team fights.
Yeah, but if they dodge that one thing.
How do you dodge that one thing? Your team initiates, you drop a silence on them, they can't get out of it, they can't do anything. It's like 3 to 4 seconds.
It's a timing thing, I agree.
Then you slow them, then you're healing everyone. No, you're a timing thing, dude.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah?
Ari sucks.
Okay.
Got him.
Nailed him. So wrecked.
Yeah, sorry to upset you.
I'm so upset. But yeah.
I'm excited.
I am too. Are
you checking her win rate?
No!
I'm watching him.
I'm just checking win rates just for now. Oh, hey, look, Sejuani. Scion.
Who's been top
He's
win
been
rate
up there for so
the
long.
longest time because his ultimate is so good and bonkers. But yeah. Oh, don't tell me Fiddlesticks is above Soraka. Oh no! Oh, she's so far down there.
Cass is up here.
Yeah. But... oh well, at least she's above like Victor.
A lot of strong picks are at the bottom because they're skill champions.
Yeah, stop picking her, God, people. Stop picking it.
Shit, he was one of the highest ones for a long time. Earlier this, yeah.
Correctly.
I agree. Oh my god.
Yeah, Akali, Kha'Zix.
So strong right now.
Elise, I think Elise is really a lot stronger.
She's way stronger than people think. Not that she's great, but I didn't even see where she was at.
Not high.
Or did I skip it that fast?
No, you already Elise?
No, Hari.
Oh, Ari? I think she's way at the top, dude. I think you skipped her.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, no, she's not. Oh.
No,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's high. 52% win rate. That's high.
And Nautilus. Nautilus is a good jungler, people.
Yes.
Really, you build a Thornmail on him when you're going against an AD team, and nothing else needs to be said. They cannot get past you. You will slow them, you will CC them, and you will win. You will win.
I can get behind that logic.
Woohoo.
So, but yeah, those are the things. That's the LCS. That's the weekly. Those are the games coming up. Not sure what the format will be with the whole playoff situation. But yeah,
What do you mean?
like I don't like LCS Weekly. I mean, like
Oh, us.
like 4 teams playing.
It'll be short. It won't be like at 45 minutes, guys. Come on.
Maybe.
No, if you made it this far, again, we love you more, and you're more beautiful.
It's true. What he said.
When your mom said that they were making fun of you because you're better than them and they're just jealous, she was right. So.
Trust your mom.
Mom's a good lady.
My mom has uterus. I lived in it.
All right.
Yeah! LCS Weekly. On point. You just don't get this from PTL.
That's right.
And I don't make bad Twitter jokes, so nailed it.
Oh, God.
See ya, freak.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. But yeah, that's LCS Weekly. Thanks for joining us. Let us know what you think of LCS things, who you think's coming out of Challenger, if you pay attention to all those things. And yeah, other than that, we'll just see all of you guys later. Have a good week. Bye.